Hi, welcome. Welcome to my first podcast, Staceuosity, the podcast. I'm super excited. I'm super nervous to be here, but mostly excited. This is something that I've been wanting to put together for a while, and today I decided to hit record. So bear with me on my first podcast. I hope this can be helpful to even just one person. My goal is to open up a safe space to try and talk about the tough stuff. And, one person's experience can have a domino effect on helping others. Maybe, we tend to narrow in on situations when we're going through difficult times and a new perspective or, someone who has done something within a similar experience that you might be going through can spark an open door for you or a whole new horizon, and maybe even take you out of that narrow space and just blow that wide open and allow you to kind of, spread your wings and fly. And talking to a lot of people lately who've been going through what I'm going through, which I'll catch you up on in a minute, it's really helped me kind of quickly gain my bearings, as much as I can at least. And I think that we should talk about some of the tough things that go on in people's lives that, have been so often either shoved under the rug or maybe people are embarrassed to talk about. Well, we all go through tough times and we're not perfect. And I think that it's so much more important to verbalize things, sort through and organize, and help each other. So that's my goal here. That's what I want to do, and I hope that you'll join me. Anyone who wants to talk about an experience that maybe you've gone through and overcome, or maybe even something that just helped you through that experience, any tidbits are wisdom. And whether you think it's small or large, the smallest little experiences in life can be the most beautiful, mind-blowing things that can help us through and get us to the other side of that. So who is this person? Let me introduce myself. My name is Stacey. I am many things, but to sum it up, I would say I'm a single mom. I'm a first-time and fairly new homeowner. I've owned my home for just over a year now, and I am trying to walk the path of an entrepreneur. It's something that's been in my heart for many, many years, possibly my whole life. I've definitely had my share of ups and downs with entrepreneurship, and I've also been through, a lot of these so-called quote unquote perfect jobs, government jobs, or set for life type jobs. So I've kind of been on both sides of this coin, and I'm coming to the conclusion that entrepreneurship and or working for myself is really the way that I want to go in life. It's really something that I feel will provide me with the best quality of life and the best of everything. I guess I would say that the most security, because that's something I'm dealing with right now. To give you a little update on me, I'm going through being laid off for the first time. I've never been fired. I've never been laid off. Today marks the second week to this day that I was laid off. And I know I'm not alone in this. I've talked to many people who this has happened to recently, and I feel like it's not being talked about enough. Having this happen to me for the first time, I was so lost in the beginning, and I didn't even know what to do, how, so many people have gone through this, so there has to be a way to kind of pull all of our collective thoughts and experiences together, and that's what I'm hoping to do. And I don't just want to talk about unemployment or being laid off. I definitely want this podcast to be about struggles or difficult seasons in our lives that we have been through, that we've overcome. So please, anyone who has those experiences, who has maybe done something that's worked for them through that, maybe you're on the other side of it, I think anyone can benefit from hearing that information. It just takes one piece of information to open that door and to kind of expand our minds out of that little narrow box that we sit in sometimes when we're very super focused in the situation that we're trying to bury ourselves out of, but we don't take perspective. We don't sit back, take a breath, and gain an outside perspective, because sometimes pausing is something that's so well needed. I'm hoping to look back on this experience, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, whatever it may be, and say, hey, being laid off was the best thing that ever happened to me. I truly am hoping that that is the case. I really feel that it is. And I am so excited and nervous to share this journey with you guys and see where it goes, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, and everything in between, and in hopes to kind of help each other and talk it out. One of the things that comes to mind is this roller coaster of emotions that I've been going through. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. It's like extreme fatigue. It's highs and lows, and it's like very, how should I say it? It's very, I don't know, it's very up and down, highs and lows, right? And it's unpredictable, especially in the first week, I would say. It's starting to level out a bit, but I do have my moments where, honestly, I will cry for reasons unknown to me, randomly throughout the day, or, I'll have days where that happens, and I'm just trying to allow that to come out. Anything that's coming up, I want it to come out, because if I feel like if I hold it in, it's not going to be good, and I'm trying to clean the slate and move forward lighter, so much lighter, because I feel like the past couple of years I have been weighted down with the Acme anvil, roadrunner status, because and taking a step back and having this happen has really allowed me to see that, because I was in this, hustle and grind for someone else, working for these other people who really don't care about, the individual. They may have, some sympathies and things like that, but at the end of the day, business is business. And unfortunately, I think we've kind of gotten away from humanizing people. So that's why a big part of why I want to become entrepreneur, working for myself, and getting away from these W-2s, because I've worked the government job where I was supposed to, work 40, 50 years and get a pension and have my retirement accounts, etc., great benefits, but life has really kind of shown me at every turn that nothing is guaranteed. All these jobs that are supposedly permanent, nothing is permanent, because at the end of the day, no one is going to look after you more than you. No one is going to see it coming before you. When you have that vision, I think that it allows us to be able to navigate better, to be able to, pivot and figure out what we need to do next. But being in these W-2 positions, it's unfortunate, because communication's not there. We can't, bosses aren't going to tell you a month or, a couple months beforehand, hey, A, our business is going under and we probably won't be able to keep you, or B, your performance is not where we'd like to see it and we're probably going to be firing you soon. A lot of companies don't give notice. They don't give you a heads up. It's just not the way that it is. Of course, there's going to be exceptions to that, I'm sure, but overall, you can get fired, you can get, reprimanded at any point. You can get in an accident, which has happened to me in the past, and lose your job. Things happen, life happens, and not everything is going to be in your control, but I feel like I said, you're going to be the one to look after yourself the most. So if at all possible, I just feel like working for yourself is the best thing you can do, because at least for me, it feels like a sense of freedom. Yes, it's very nerve-wracking, especially in the stage that I'm in right now. I'm in a very unknown, part of this, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to continue to try, no matter if I fail, no matter if I, succeed. I'm going to try to succeed more and more, and I'm going to try to really pause and find joy during this journey, no matter what, and try to find some peace, because I don't want to be in that narrow box anymore. One of the silliest things that I've come across throughout this process so far is something I want to bring up because it's mind-blowing to me. So, in losing my job, I, of course, have dropped in income, and, there's certain bills that need to be lowered or eliminated, etc. And it's been a funny process. So, all the creditors that I've had so far, I've contacted, it's interesting. I never knew this side of things, so I definitely want to talk about it. Maybe you don't know either, but in general, if you are trying to plan for, being delinquent in bills, it's funny because a lot of these creditors, they don't want to help you at that stage when you're trying to be responsible and prevent, default, or prevent, or try to make a plan at least for yourself for what it is that, may happen. They don't make it easy, which, I guess I can see that side of it too, but when you have someone who's trying to actively make a plan to get back on track and to actually be able to pay the creditors, because how many of us have, defaulted on things because they weren't willing to help? I would think they would want to get some money and then be able to potentially get a lot more money moving forward if someone could just get on a plan to get back on the right track. But it's funny because as a census, it seems to be they want you to be delinquent. They want you to be stressing out and be behind and all these things before they will kind of step in and lend a hand, which is mind-boggling to me. I was told to call back until after I had missed payments with everyone in different aspects. So I don't want to name names or anything, but it's been across the board, and my mind is blown. I mean, I'm not super mad. I'm kind of processing it, and I'm trying to make my own plan, but it's tough for me because I'm a planner and I want to get myself on track again. So it's tough for us planners out there to go through this situation. Let me know what you guys have done. I've heard different stories. I've heard, you have to be a couple months behind before they help you. I've heard, call as soon as possible. But I've called as soon as possible across the board and I haven't had help yet. So I'm just waiting, and I'm kind of realizing through this, though, I have to be okay with it. I have to be okay with this uncomfortable time, the difficulties that may happen. I am taking a big risk by trying to work for myself right now, and I have to face all of that head on, and I think that this is something that I've been needing to get comfortable with for a long time. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, big changes in life. So much of my life I've been terrified of change because change historically for me has been negative. It's been a very traumatic thing for me. Especially big change has been very traumatic for me historically. So I have a lot of lingering trauma with that. That kind of creeps into the now as an adult, and I've been seeing the signs, especially now, 2024. This year has really pushed me a lot to kind of see that, hey, there's going to be change, there's going to be big changes, it's going to be super uncomfortable, but in order for me to get to the amazing other beautiful side is I have to go through this. I have to learn how to lighten the effect that it has on me. I have to learn how to breathe and gain perspective no matter where I'm at, no matter what comfort level I'm experiencing. Gotta get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So that's what I'm kind of learning right now. But anyways, to end that rant, if anyone knows or has experiences with creditors, any type of bills you've tried to, remedy or put on payment plans or, forbearance or whatever, I would love to hear from you. Anything that you've done, I welcome all experiences. Speaking of change, I just remembered a Facebook post that I saw last night, and it was troubling. This poor girl had posted, oh my gosh, something to this effect. Oh my gosh, I got caught yesterday with not having childcare. She worked a remote job, and I guess her boss saw the kid on the camera or heard the kid in the background, and this woman was terrified of losing her job. She said, I have a meeting with the boss in the morning. He told me to, meet him at a certain time, and what's going to happen? What should I do? What do I say? She was terrified of losing her job. And boy, did that really hit me, because being a mom, I've worked remote, and being scared of your boss for having your child with you at home is horrible, but I realize that's a real fear for a lot of people, and that just broke my heart. I feel like we need to be talking about this stuff as a community, because this is not okay. It's not okay for a job to make you so fearful. Probably to the point where that woman did not, sleep very well last night, I'm sure. And how many sleepless nights have we all had in fear of losing our jobs, or being reprimanded at work? And it's just not right. I feel like it's not okay to live like that. To be in fear of someone so much, like they are your dictator, It's so sad. And in those situations, a lot of times we have this fear controlling us, and we don't see outside of it at all. We get stuck in that super focused mind frame of the job, pleasing these people at work, and we don't realize, hey, this is unhealthy. This is not something that, this is a red flag. I shouldn't be feeling this way about a job. I damn sure wouldn't be feeling this with, a significant other or a family member. I wouldn't be taking this from them. So why would I take this from a job? Sometimes that happens, and we don't take any time. We don't realize that we need to take time and take a step back to evaluate these things. And it breaks my heart, because I know I've been there. I know that a lot of my friends and people that I've loved and cared about throughout my life have gone through these situations, and we have to be able to talk about these things and shed light to them. Healthy work environment is imperative now more than ever. Ever since COVID, I think we've had a slew of mental health issues, and we have become, I think as a whole, from what I've noticed, we've become very reclusive. We've become very quiet. We don't, and I'm not talking about everybody. I know this is not true for everyone. Please don't come for me. But I think that it's really hindered a lot of us and instilled a lot of fear within us. And we kind of got used to living in fear during COVID. And it for a lot of us, it's ongoing. And it's spread throughout a lot of different aspects of our life, whether it be work, whether it be with family or friends or any type of relationship. I think it just spreads across all platforms of life, and I think we can get out of this funk as a society and talk about it and spread light or shed light to things like this and try to make changes in the workforce, especially because work has become a pain point for so many of us. How many videos have you guys seen? Like all the generations of Gen Z, millennials and Gen X, how everyone reacts to going back into the office or going into the office. I saw a video, I think it was yesterday, and I identified with Gen Z in that video because it was, different reactions throughout the generations of having to get up and go to the office every day. And it was funny, every generation handled it differently. Some were, passive aggressive, some were upset about it, and Gen Z just decided not to show up. So I identify with that. I think a lot of jobs can be done remotely, of course, not all, but I know that a lot of people have gone that way, and it's like weird. It's oddly frowned upon, and I don't understand why. It was like this cool thing, and then now it's like really weird. Now it's like awkward. I feel like going back into the office is a conversation that is difficult between employers and employees to kind of talk about. So definitely a conversation that I would love to have an employer talk about this, and or maybe even a dynamic with an employer and an employee. Have an open conversation about, both sides and both perspectives on this. And I know that business wise, there's been some difference in opinions. A lot of people have definitely taken advantage of the remote life, and it's a bummer. It's definitely a bummer, but I really just think that shows that they're unhappy with what they're doing, and they just need to reconfigure themselves to figure out what it is they need to do. Remote jobs in any field is not for everybody. Maybe you need to do something else, or maybe you would enjoy going back to work in person somewhere, but maybe doing something totally different. I just think that if we have that conversation and figure out what it is that you enjoy, then I think that if we if we have that open conversation, what are the pros and cons, maybe we can come up with better solutions for people on both sides of that conversation. But anyways, I digress. Just to give you a little insight as to what my goals are, what my vision is currently, which I'm going to allow that to evolve as it comes. I'm not going to cap myself on I have to do this, but my current vision is to, I guess I have to tell you what I did, right? I'm a medical recruiter, and I have been for a while now. I've had great success with it, and post-COVID, it's definitely been a change in industry. The industry has been evolving and changing, and I'm seeing a lot of 1099 options, a lot of, independent contractor options, and it's something I've had one eye on for probably at least a year now, seriously, and I'm hoping to utilize this opportunity to move into that space where I understand employers are fed up with people who don't want to do their job. And commission-based is it's very iffy because, you don't have a secure salary. But as I kind of mentioned before, no job is secure, no salary is secure, so why cap my income earning opportunities? That's how I see it. So I'm trying to go full 1099, full commission on recruiting in the medical space. I'm open to other spaces as well. I'm open to opportunities in general that allow me to utilize my own schedule, that give me freedom to be able to meet my potential. I want to see where my potential can go, and I don't want to be restricted on that. So I'm exploring all options within that kind of realm. And I am getting started with that today, actually, and Monday I should be in full force on that. And I'm hoping that it will support me for a while. My overall goal is to then take money I earn from that and invest and do different things to make multiple streams of income come my way, so that I can have the space and the time to also explore things that I enjoy and find new things that I enjoy. I really just want to enjoy and live life. I feel like so much of my life I haven't done that. And being 35 now, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm still young and life is too short to waste it. You never know what's going to happen, and life has proven that to me time and time again. So I want to explore painting. I've done acrylic painting on and off throughout my life. I'm not the best in the world, but I definitely enjoy it. And I like being creative. This podcast is one of the things that I really wanted to start, and I am so proud of myself for doing this regardless of the outcome. I'm going to continue to do it. That's another thing. And weddings. I really want to get back into wedding coordinating. I realized being without it this last year how much I truly did enjoy it. And I think now that I've grown within my own abilities and my own, setting boundaries and being able to really respect myself and my capabilities, I think that I'm in a space now where I can do that without feeling some type of way if maybe somebody's not fully happy, because I've gone through that with every type of situation, entrepreneurship and W2, where I don't like disappointing someone, and I've been working on that for a long time now. I will continue to work on that, but I'm in a space right now where I feel that I can set those boundaries and understand, or at least, calm myself down when things may not be perfect, and definitely set boundaries in the beginning to where maybe it's not a good fit and I won't work with people, just because the money's coming my way. I want to make sure it's the right fit on both ends so that we're all happy. But I do want to get into wedding coordinating again, especially out here in Florida. It's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful destination type weddings out here, and I want to explore that. So there's a lot of things I have. I definitely want to get some writing done, so I'm happy and excited to be able to explore these options right now. It's something that I didn't feel I had the time for before, and I'm going to be making time to explore these things. Maybe take an art class, and also spending time with my son. And, he's going to be 15 in a couple months. Time has just flown by, and I want to be able to experience every moment that I can. We've been enjoying fishing lately, so I realize how much that I did enjoy fishing, or I do. So it's something I haven't done since I was probably a kid, and I'm really enjoying that with him. So just exploring new things and figuring out, what I'm finding joy with, and living every moment that I can, actually living and enjoying life. And I hope that I inspire someone else to do the same, and I hope to grow a community where we can have an open forum and talk to each other and help each other with the good, the bad, and all the in-betweens, and kind of just get things off our chest and explore our hopes and dreams. So thanks for listening. I hope to make another one of these very soon. I hope to do this at least once a week, so stay tuned and feel free to contact me. You can email me at Staceuosity@gmail.com. That's STACEUOSITY@gmail.com. You can also look me up on Instagram. I have quite the journey there. I have a blog that's a little bit old. I need to update, but it was kind of like health journey type stuff that I've done on there. I've done a lot of mental health on IG recently, so you can definitely look up Staceuosity on IG as well and find me there. So feel free to reach out, message me, or email me, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you soon.